Mr. Gaben.
I'm getting tired.
So we're almost halfway into the first quarter of 2026, and the announcement section, the announcement leaks and rumors section of the Half-Life 3 Miro board is looking blanker than a solitary confinement room. It's looking It's looking blanker than my resume. It's looking blanker than a Last of Us Part 2 fan's inner monologue. It is fucked. So yeah, it's all quiet on the Half-Life 3 front, and let me tell you, my boots are beginning to quiver. And the reasons for this, for those who don't know, if you're watching this video, you're well aware of the logistics of a Half-Life 3 2026 launch, and it is this. It's that GTA 6 is going to release during the, I think, fourth quarter of 2026, if memory serves me right. But, you know, take that with a grain of salt since we're talking about Rockstar and all that. Consequently, each day that passes, each week that passes, each month that passes without a peep from Valve or Gaben is
alarming.
The Citadel's on
full, nothing ever happens.
Seen it lit up like that.
Since they only have so much time to utilize and capitalize the free time before GTA 6, although they could theoretically, in practice, announce it in 2026 and release it in 2027 or something, or later on. That doesn't seem very Valve-like to me, personally. Valve has notoriously just dropped shit. Anyways, you already know that. You may also already know that Half-Life 3 was reportedly supposed to be a flagship launch title for the GameCube and the hardware associated with it.
Gaben.
However, RAM prices are still increasing, the demand for AI is ever increasing as its tech ever increases, although not exponentially like originally anticipated, like something along the lines of Moore's Law. No, it's much more linear and logarithmic, but it's still increasing at a sustainable rate that directly justifies the RAM prices and the, you know, hype, I suppose. I'm about to be murdered by zombies here. I gotta be careful. So yeah, all this is really just painting a very languid and somber picture, painted with gray oils for the future, for a potential 2026 announcement or release. However, I'm getting ahead of myself. I realize that. I'm kind of being alarmist and I'm calling quits early for really no discernible reason other than my hunches and suspicions. However, grounded in reality they may be. But that's enough talking about the announcement rumors slash leak rumors or announcement in general, because to be honest, there's nothing to talk about. It's very quiet. And one could possibly say that it's the quiet before the storm. So maybe this quietness has a reason. I am becoming schizophrenic. I'm becoming schizophrenic. For this portion of the video, I kind of just want to talk about the gameplay features that were recently leaked, I guess, and presented by Tyler McVicker and the Gay Follower in their recent videos, which I find to be quite interesting. So I want to talk about these gravitational fields that are supposed to be in Half-Life 3. So they're supposed to be these gravitational zones in specific parts of a level in Half-Life 3. And these gravitational zones have different levels of gravitational force. So that means small or extreme warping in space-time, which could possibly, certain parts of the map, time might slow down from your perception. Obviously, if there's less gravity, you're going to be less bounded, you're going to float. Conversely, from a strict reading of the leaks, these gravitational zones are more or less going to be localized vectors in specific areas and planes of the map, and they may pull you towards the ceiling, or what you think is the ceiling, it's going to pull you towards specific planes, and thereby it is going to alter your perspective of what a floor and a ceiling is, etc., etc. This time-bending shit that I was alluding to is a way, I think, a little bit too theoretical and fantastical and a little bit too complex for a video game. I digress. Interestingly, bullets are actually going to be three-dimensional objects in space-time. Bullets in Half-Life 3 projectiles are going to be three-dimensional objects in space-time and are going to be affected by these gravitational fields emitted by these gravitational zones. So that means bullets can either speed up or slow down or warp or go in weird directions. Interestingly, and similar to that, is that apparently, for some levels of Half-Life 3, there's gonna be no discernibility between the walls and the floors. So if you guys ever seen that scene from that very slept-on indie movie, that very unknown underground indie movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, where the dude is like doing his exercise routine in that centrifugal spaceship, where 1 second the floor is the floor, the ceiling is ceiling, then the next second the ceiling is the floor, and vice versa. Stuff like that's going to be a thing in Half-Life 3. And that's going to be in direct congruence with, you know, the warping of space-time, your perception, your movements, and also that's going to play with the bullet projectiles. So it's going to be a very trippy experience. And honestly, at this point, Half-Life 3 is essentially fucking Portal 3 too. So we're getting 2 games in 1. It'd be really crazy if they introduced a portal gun. Imagine that. Imagine that. Projectiles are going at fucking different speeds. Your perception of time is constantly altering. Your movement's constantly altering. Same with the enemies. And the floors are the fucking ceilings. And the ceilings are the floors. You got a portal gun. Like, imagine the crazy amount of puzzles and the crazy amount of things that could possibly introduce. It's kind of mind-boggling to think about. And it gives me some tangible hype for Half-Life 3. However theoretical and imaginary that it may be, it is still very exciting to ponder about. So you've got that, which obviously raises a lot of interesting gameplay mechanics, but also apparently the NPC system in Half-Life 3 is obviously going to get revamped. And what I mean by that is that the NPC emotional states are going to be completely robusted and dynamic and reactive and actually going to have depth to it. So NPCs could have reproach, they could be cowardly, they could be sad, they could be angry, they could be, you know, the entire gamut of emotional states given the context of the situation that they're in, or given your previous actions that you did to them, or yada yada yada. NPCs are apparently going to remember things you did, they may hold grudges. So remember that one time when you used the crossbow to zoom into Alex's purple underwear? I didn't do that. I know you did though. Yeah, she's gonna remember that now, so be careful, okay? Be careful next time. And make sure to create a fully modeled mental model in order to cope with that fact. They might ponder upon prior failures of yours and yada yada yada. Moreover, the NPC dialogue is going to be revamped as well to be congruent and reflective of these overhauls. So that's pretty cool. And I guess damage is going to be overhauled as well. Like, so apparently NPCs are no longer going to have a set amount of hit points. It's actually going to be segmented across the limbs. It's going to be a way more realistic and reactive and dynamic system as well. And basically, like, all these different parts, all these different limbs are going to unify in a system that isn't as obtuse and rigid as like 100 hit points, for instance. Limb injuries are going to be a thing, so that's also going to apply to your teammates and to the enemies. Limb injuries are going to affect how they do in combat, and you're going to have casualties because of that. This will like make combat situations way more immersive and realistic. So NPCs will actually like react to limb damage, will actually react to like blunt force trauma, for instance. Apparently blunt force trauma is going to be a thing in Half-Life 3, where a person may get knocked out from a high velocity, you know, object. So that's cool. I don't know. There's just a lot of interesting new leaks and shit. I mean, I guess we could talk about the fire propagation systems that you already know of, and the electrical conductivity properties and the electrical currents that can, you know, go through different materials, depending whether it's metal or water, yada yada yada. And this could play a role into gameplay, into combat, into the puzzles. Same with the fire propagation systems. Apparently wind's gonna be utilized, air's gonna be utilized some way. I haven't read all that much into it. But you think about that in conjunction with the space-time warping properties of the gravitational zones, and, you know, the time dilation possibly, and I don't know, just all of it in unison paints a very, very cool, vivid picture of complex puzzles that could be genre-defined, possibly. And I don't really have anything else to really comment on, like, really to talk about, really. I just want to, this video is essentially, if I had to put it in other words, it's just a wellness check, a therapy session. Like, how are you guys holding up? How's the Half-Life 3 Half-Life community holding up? Where's our hope-o-meter at? You know, do you guys need hopium? Because I need it. I need opium. My fucking hopium dealer died, okay? My hopium dealer is on the fucking rocks right now. He's on the fucking Zen crystals, and, you know, he needs hopium. Well, actually, he's dead, so he doesn't need hopium. He died from a lack of hopium. He died from a lack of hopium. And I have no hopium left, and my hopium reserves are pretty fucking low, and I'm gonna die probably before Half-Life 3. Like, I'm just getting tired, Gaben. I'm getting tired, Mr. Gaben. I'm getting tired. There's so many shitty things going on in the world right now. We've got so much disasters on the horizon with, like, AI singularity / AI bubble. We've got the United States debt crisis, its fiscal crisis, where the United States is paying trillions of dollars of interest on debt payments that they can't pay, which will ultimately lead to a debt crisis. I mean, the United States has a constitutional crisis on the horizon with the Democrats possibly winning the midterms and impeaching Trump and him not fucking leaving, and Japan's going through a fucking debt crisis. Every fucking nation wants to fucking dump United States treasuries because of her fucking diplomatic actions. I mean, the Japanese bond market was going fucking crazy. I mean, a lot of weird shit is going on, okay? And, I want to play Half-Life 3 before I'm foraging berries with a bolt rifle in hand, living in a tent in the woods, okay? You need to release Half-Life 3 as the last final send-off. Please, just fucking release Half-Life 3 for humanity's sake at this point. It's already finished, it's already polished, okay? Just fucking release it, just fucking shadow drop it. Well, the times are good. I know, like, rent is unaffordable, groceries are expensive, people can barely fucking repay their fucking student loans and pay their fucking mortgages, and healthcare is expensive, car insurance is expensive, everything's just fucking expensive. One fucking crazy event will lead you to debt. One medical event can lead you to debt in the United States. Like, it's fucked, okay? Like, we need Half-Life 3. Okay, maybe Half-Life 3 releasing will prevent the world from ending, because people will learn to love again. They'll learn to love something again. I don't know, dude. I'm just so fucking tired. I'm tired, Gaben. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I wish I had some hopium. I don't. I don't have any hopium. I'm gonna die on this fucking ladder. On this, stairway anyways. So, anyways, peace the fuck